Princess Tiana mission log. There are still some more collectibles needs to be obtained, like for instance, energy tanks, missile expansion tanks, neither especially noticeable with power bomb tanks as well, which that's the next thing I'm about to do. Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Tiana here, and I am from the likes of the Metroid videos once again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Metroid Fusion, or Metroid 4 to be more specifically, for the Game Boy Advance. So, last time we essentially did manage to do, well, we did somehow manage to realize that we finally got ourselves the wide beam, and on top of that, we also did manage to get ourselves the screw attack, and in addition to that, we also managed to beat, once again, 2 bosses, but this time we did somehow fought against with the forms of not only BOX, as in second form, and on top of that, with the forms of Neo Ridley, which is essentially buddy forms of that particular Ridley's version of one of those X-Parasites or somewhat. So either way, even though it's hard to explain because it's been about 2 days ago since I actually have last played this game, so as a result of that kind of stuff though, we did make some more progressioning as far as this is concerned. So today, for this video, is about the fact that we're about to get started by simply able to actually find the, well, more collectibles here and there. Like, for instance, for this particular point, we need to find most of those missile expansions, and especially noticeable with some more energy tanks, and on top of that, more power bomb tanks as well. So potentially speaking, just to get this out of the way, before we're able to actually take on the finale portion of the game, because of that though, if we dare manage to activate the forms of the navigation room, then obviously the actual progressioning, it might be pretty much linear for the sake of time, especially that there's no way for you to actually guarantee to obtain most of those collectibles during that particular process. So either way though, because chances are though, that as for this point, when it comes to the finale portion of this particular playthrough, I'm not going to do that just yet, until specifically next Tuesday. Because of that though, yeah, we're getting very close towards the end of this game basically, alongside with the forms of not only Donkey Kong Country Returns for both Mighty and Ray, but also same place with Sonic the Hedgehog that he's almost finishing up with Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2 as well. And potentially speaking, that we have no idea what's going to be up next. Well, aside from the fact that I still need to get back into Kirby's Return of Dreamland Deluxe at some point on June or July or August, depending on the forms of time length as far as this is concerned. So either way though, yeah, today's date of course is the 25th of May today, in this case in 2023 today. Unfortunately though, The Little Mermaid live action remake is going to be releasing until tomorrow, which as a result I'm still not very crazy about this though, especially because about the fact that you know exactly what I pointings out loads of times. But either way though, trust me when I'm saying this, until in June and onwards though, I promise you I'm probably not going to mention about that particular monstrosity of the film itself ever again. But either way, enough about that negativity. There are some positive stuff we'd like to mention, is that, first of all, about the fact the matter is though, is about the fact that recently, let's just say about a week ago or something like that, recently that Five Nights at Freddy's the movie poster has been revealed, and I'm gonna say, they look very accurate to the forms of how it does on the video game counterparts. So as a result of that kind of stuff though, I'm curious to know what the film itself actually looks like. But either way though, I might be curious if I'm also able to see that in day 1 during the forms of in a cinema or big screen or something, even though it seems it's kind of hard to tell at this rate, mainly because about the fact that at this point in time, that the next film we're about to be able to see eventually is of course Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So as a result, that I'm very appreciative about the fact that that particular film now finally come to its existence during the forms of this year, especially noticeable about the fact that that particular film has been delayed countless amount of times thanks to the forms of the pandemic, as you probably already expect. So anyway, now we can able to explore different areas now because of the forms of the various suits and stuff like that, as well as the gravity suit, and on top of that the screw attack. Because of that though, we can now able to actually break certain blocks that actually signifies the forms of that particular screw attack icons, as you probably already noticed ever since enjoying the forms of in the last video. So kind of thinking about it, for that particular Metroid egg hatch thing right there, is actually very similar to the forms of how it does in Metroid 2, Return of Samus almost, even though except the fact that it takes place in the forms of a different environment, instead of the forms of the SR-388. So, either way though, there's another power bomb tank right there. So yeah, we're getting very close towards the end of the game, as I mentioned this before, and kind of thinking about it, it actually went rather well. Even though, despite the fact that it took me a lot of process to able to actually get this thing going, especially on top of all that stuff though, imagine about the fact that if we decided able to do you know, Metroid Zero mission eventually, then it will be imagining about the fact that it'll take a bit slightly longer than this, especially because of all that particular getting used to with the controls and all that stuff, as well as the forms of where these item locations are. But either way though, I'm sure we did this just fine. So either way though, let's just go ahead and continue things on for this point, especially now we're going back to Sector 2 within the quickest way imaginable, thanks to the forms of one of those tunnel segments here and there. So because of that though, we can now able to go into whatever sector we're going to, rather than just hop onto the elevator every single time. So relatively speaking though, everything else will be pretty much accounted for the sake of time. So anyway, so yeah, it looks very accurate for that poster, as I said before, when it comes to Five Nights at Freddy's movie. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how that film's gonna represent it with. So anyway, the next thing I want to mention though is that there is a random game that's confirmed to be as a physical release. And that's what appears to be Pocket Bravery, and that's going to be confirmed physically on the forms of the Switch version, alongside with the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. I'm not exactly sure about the Xbox systems though, mainly because about the fact that it's been quite some time since I actually have last played my Xbox for some time. Either the original model, or specifically the original Xbox, or the OG Xbox, or the Xbox 360, or the Xbox One. But either way though, that'll be a discussion in a later day. So either way. Oh, and on top of all that stuff though, is about the fact that we actually got ourselves a confirmed release date for the likes of the forms of the Disney Plus release of the forms of Avatar: The Way of Water. So as a result, yeah, it's been about 6 months or so. Well, I would say almost 6 months, and that's because about the fact that that particular film came out during the forms within Christmas time in last year. So as a result, it's about time to able to finally get a chance to able to see the film, well, to be more specifically on Disney Plus services though. Although as far as I'm aware, they seem to able to do not confirm a DVD release yet. Well, it's kind of strange about the fact that usually for the Super Mario Bros. Movie, obviously Mario's able to be prepared for the likes of the forms of the DVD and Blu-ray release in the future, but not so much the forms of Avatar: The Way of Water, strangely enough. And it's a good thing we did already got the energy tank from earlier ago, because obviously if you don't know what to do, then you simply activate either the Morph Ball bomb, or potentially speaking with the actual, well, power bombs, as you can tell. Basically you can able to actually go ahead and use that to your advantage. So either way, that might actually explain so anything else like that. So again, it's been 2 days ago since we've actually last played this game, and relatively speaking, we're getting very close, as I said before. And it's also worth noting for about the fact that, well, both Mighty and Ray are almost finishing up with the forms of, you know, World 8, as far as the Volcano World, as far as that's been concerned. And on top of that, Sonic is now onto the final world, presumably anyway, from the likes of the forms of Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2. So as a result, that, yeah, we're getting very close. So anywho, so yeah, in terms of the release date, in terms of the forms of Avatar: The Way of Water is going to be releasing on Disney Plus, and it's going to be coming until the 7th of June, which, conveniently enough, it's actually a day after My Little Pony Bridalwood Stock special is going to be releasing on Netflix. So yeah, it seems kind of weird able to actually release 2 of those things in a separate day. So either way though, I guess there must have been like, I don't know, coincidence, I guess. Although, mind you, it's just about the fact that I'm still not a big fan of G5 stuff as much as the next guy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do still manage to able to enjoy it for quite a bit, but compared to the forms of something related to G4 stuff and all that jazz, I just think it's a bit lackluster in comparison to the forms of G4 in my opinion. But again, I'm biased, I guess, when it comes to prefer, you know, whatever generations I do prefer. But then again, I'm biased. So Anyway, so speaking of which though, it's about the fact that I believe we've almost nearly at the end of the forms of the Mii Tour for the likes of the forms of the Mario Kart Tour. And did you know about the fact that matter is though, currently, that I suppose that Sonic, Mighty and Ray have all forgotten to mention about during the course of their Let's Plays of, you know, Donkey Kong Country Returns and Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2 Marches and Minis, is that the Mii Tour, specifically Mii Tour 2023 version, is actually currently the 96th tour so far. So it's almost get to the point that I believe the next tour is going to be 97. So as a result, I'm not exactly sure what the 97th tour is it going to be. It could be a surprise though, especially concerning that I suppose we'll let Sonic be able to mention more details onto that topic until when he goes back onto Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2. So just in case you can able to actually finish up the entire game before we move on to, well, it's kind of a tricky situation at the moment when it comes to dealing with the rest of the forms of the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series of games. Like, I know for a fact that, relatively speaking, for Mini's March again, never gets re-released on the likes of the Nintendo Wii U Virtual Console re-release because obviously it's a DSi exclusive title. And on top of all that stuff though, that I just really wish if Miniland Mayhem will be also be re-released on the Wii U, like for its Virtual Console lineup. So, I mean, they obviously did for the sake of the forms of Kirby Mass Attack, but why not the forms of the majority of the forms of the Mario stuff during the forms of in the 2010s era or something? Like, I know for a fact that you've got most of the stuff during the course of in the mid-2000s Mario games on the DS library, but not so much the forms of the others though. Like, you know what I'm saying about the fact that we're missing not only Mario vs. Donkey Kong Miniland Mayhem, but also with the forms of Mario Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. Heck, let's not forget ourselves with the forms of Diddy Kong Racing DS, although, mind you about the fact that that game has been made by Rare, so relatively speaking though, I have no doubts about the fact that Diddy Kong Racing will get re-released anytime soon, until God knows about the fact that they're able to release that for the likes of the NSO expansion pack. So, anywho though, and I suppose I should probably also mention about this as well, that I think supposedly enough, we've only just got about roughly 2 months left until Pikmin 4 will be releasing. So, anyway, enough about that specific topic. And also we're missing the duology games of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games games on the DS, which are both on Beijing 2008 and Vancouver 2010. So, but either way though, I'm guessing bigger cells can be choosers, I guess. And on top of that, with the forms of Super Princess Peach as well, which I just don't understand how the fact that Super Princess Peach never gets re-released on the Wii U Virtual Console re-release version for some strange reason. Well, I was really expecting to able to be looking forward to doing that, but unfortunately though, we're out of options for able to do that kind of stuff, so oh well, no big deal. Again, beggar cells can be choosers, I guess. And besides, the Wii U eShop is dead. So, like, we've already on about that already. And it's even bad enough that I believe that Sonic has already mentioned about that during the course of it Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2, March and the Minis Let's Play, that it's a shame that Pac-Man 99 is eventually gonna get closing down services. Well, at least specifically in online play and stuff like that, including some paid DLC as well, I guess. Well, mind you, it's just about the fact that I haven't exactly got Pac-Man 99 from my spare own time, especially because, well, I'm sure that Sonic has already explained about this, is that he's not really an expert when it comes to forms of trying to compete over 100 players around the world. Well, mind you, during the forms of that particular time, about the fact that he's sort of still used to with the forms of, well, playing online stuff during the course of it, not only Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but also with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and you probably name the rest of it, so anywho, so let's go ahead and explore for down here, because after all, we've got the various suits. So in some cases though, let me go ahead and use the power bomb, so that way I can get rid of all kinds of enemies on this specific spot. And something tells me it's almost like a maze-like. So either way though, I was gonna need to able to figure out how on earth are we gonna able to get that pickup, by the way. But either way though, it's just about the fact, as I said before, it's been 2 days ago, so Anyway, so let's go and go up here and to get ourselves, what else? Another power bomb tank. So, yeah, I feel like for the majority of this video, it's going to be most likely trying to get the last few pickups here and there before we get into the final point of Metroid Fusion. So, yeah, I guess that pretty much explains it how. So, either way, and I suppose I should probably also mention about this as well, I guess, is that, well, I couldn't mention about the fact that with the 100th tour is going to be coming up for the sake of the forms of Mario Kart Tour, I believe it might take place at some point in summer. Although it could be possibly be either in July or August, even though I haven't really checked on my calendar as much. But I think I was able to check on my calendar anyway once I was able to, you know, backtrack for one form or another, because obviously just trying to able to collect everything in this whole entire adventure, so, which I'm sure that you might have already noticed from the get-go though, so. Anyways, let's go through here to trying to able to get the heck out of here for this particular spot. So, either way though, despite the fact that, you know, I haven't exactly got a map with me, but I'm sure I'll try to able to memorize certain parts throughout. So, in some cases though, let's go through here and trying to able to walk through this particular hot water, or the lava I meant to say, because, you know, with the various suits, that way we can able to protect ourselves during the forms of certain sections like this one. So, let's go and make sure about the fact that I think we actually did collect everything in here, which I think that could be if a... Actually, let me go ahead and double check, so just in case... Ah, secret! Aha! So, either way, now we can able to go into Sector 5. So, either way, thank you for that particular screw attack blocks. So, because of that though, about the fact that this entire process should be a lot more faster at this point, especially because, well, suffice to say that we don't have to worry about the forms of trying to keep on going to these elevators and all that stuff, which has always been a good thing, especially because, well, we just want to make the actual entire process a bit dragged on at points, so... But you know, you get the idea about that for this entire process, so... Anyway, so I get a strong feeling that the 97th tour should be up by the end of the forms of this month, so at least depending on what region you lived in. So in some cases though, it did somehow showed up, like, it always shows up every time when I woke up in the morning during the forms of the actual, like, any other Wednesdays for every single 2 weeks as far as this is concerned, which obviously continues that tradition. And I think something tells me that at this point in time, it's just about the fact that at this point that some of these other tour concepts might get repeated after a while, which I know it seems kind of feels a bit, I don't know, samey at points. I mean, sure, about the fact that they're trying to add in tons of content here and there, but it's just that, well, that is one point about the fact that they've almost running out of ideas of what the next tour concepts is it gonna be like. So, anyway, so I believe we need to go ahead and backtrack for a bit, so just in case I can able to go ahead and sort certain amount of things first. So, for instance, we're able to obtain the blue X-Parasites, so just in case we can able to go ahead and, you know, clear them out the way, and yeah, I did not meant to do that. So, either way, though, let's just try again to able to actually do, what else? Some Shine Sparks. So, and believe me, there's going to be a lot of stuff we have to do this for the sake of time, especially because this is actually a requirement until you're able to actually get the last few collectibles in terms of the forms of this game. So, either way though, because you need to master those specific stuff like this. So, in fact, let me go ahead and quickly equip one of my actually, kind of think about it, I think I should probably save that until later, because I think something tells me that we do need to do more Shine Spark for the sake of the forms of, yeah, let's just use the Power Bomb in that spot. So just in case, I need to aim right over there, because obviously if I hit any of those blocks, it will not let me proceed. So either way, that way, it'll allow me to able to actually just go ahead and, okay, so it should be in this bit, so... Hey, can you see why about the fact that this particular video might take a bit longer? Because obviously with this particular remaining items needs to be picked up. I mean, sure enough though, that despite I was a bit slacky and slow at points, which I highly doubt, I don't know if I can able to actually get the best ending, but either way, I will try my best though. So either way though, so at least we got the power bomb tank right there. But that doesn't end off here, because there's also another pickup that appears to be right over there. So we do need able to sort this out. So I think something tells me, oh, I can't do that, because obviously that usually counts as one of those speed booster blocks. And on top of that, the crumbling block icon will attempt to show up. So oh well, we'll try again, and hopefully we'll able to... Oh, could I possibly make it? Yes, I did. So, how's that for that part? So, yeah, I can assure you, for my prediction of what the 100th Mario Kart Tour is going to be at, I think it might actually be, I think the 97th one is going to be on at the end of the month, and 98th is going to be on the mid-June, and as far as I'm aware, the 90... I would say 99th is going to be by the end of June, and sure enough, I was right. I'm pretty sure the 100th tour is going to be on July. Specifically, July the 12th, at least as far as I'm aware. But then again though, we're not exactly sure what the actual tours they'll brings us into, because either way though, it's a bit early to decide, especially because concerning with all that, you know, we're still in the process of the Mii tour so far, so either way though, that might be saying something, so... But I digress. So, as far as I'm aware, that, actually kind of thinking about it, I think I've basically run out of ideas to be able to discuss upon that point, especially that, again, we'll let Sonic be able to mention more about the forms of, you know, what's going to be up next for the sake of the 97th tour for the Mario Kart Tour game. So either way though, because chances are that at this point in time it's just a way of how the fact, I think that's as far as I can explain about any of those things. So anyway, so we got another power bomb tank, so either way though, that should be all good. And suffice to know about the fact, no matter what though, is that, well, again, that's all I can really say about this point, guys. I mean, sure, I would have liked able to explain something else for that matter, but either way though, I'm just simply almost felt a bit pretty exhausted during the forms of been today, actually, because, well, for one noticeable thing, the weather itself is actually getting a bit better, especially because, after all, we've almost at the point that we've almost at summer season, so relatively speaking, though, it's just a way of how the fact that I'm actually pretty curious to know what summer is going to be like. So, although it wasn't until whenever we get to a new year, which appears to be 2024, that we will able to actually see something relates to the forms of, you know, the Paris Summer Olympics coming up during at some point until next year. So, anyways, let's go through here. So, I think relatively speaking though, is it possible I can able to actually still go through here? Because I'm sure enough though that the entire restricted zone is actually got destroyed, because obviously that, you know, the SAX did somehow manage to able to ambush the place, and then he somehow managed, or she managed able to actually just somehow break free all the other kinds of Metroids for the sake of the forms of those particular capsule thingies. So, and sure enough though, this thing is entirely destroyed. So either way, well, you still can go in here, but of course that's, I think, one of the key reasons for this is because of that power bomb tank right up there. And of course, keep in mind, you have to use the screw attack in order to able to do this. So, just to make sure about the fact that if you want to able to do well-timing jumps, especially with your space jump in mind. So, now, I think for that particular music in the background, that's going to be the whole loop of when it comes to the forms of this particular video as far as this is concerned. It's a bit strange for saying this, but I'm guessing because we're pretty much almost at the end of the adventure. So, but then again though, we'll do that at some point until next Tuesday, once we get ourselves the last few pickups in mind. So, and it feels like we've almost done with the forms of not only energy tanks, but also with the forms of missile tanks, as well as from that, power bomb tanks as well. So, relatively speaking though, I'm curious to know how much things we could possibly get once we're able to head back into the recharge room. So, in some cases though, we'll try to do that in a moment, because obviously I need to, like, continuously walk on foot and grab some more X-Parasites for not only, well, we've already maxed out on health right now, but as far as missiles are concerned, I do definitely need to do some bit of more grinding for the sake of time, so, but either way, though, that might be saying something, so, and I think something tells me that the next, energy tank, it does also requires a Shine Spark and go through here, and straight to the point, we've gone to this room, so in some cases, though, let's go ahead and, hop away across by the end of this room, and as it turns out, this thing has been blocked because we need to do a puzzle solving. So because of this though, sometimes it can be very tricky whenever you manage able to first got here, but I think something tells me in order able to do it successfully is that we need to aim on those specific shots, because one of those little stall things just somehow shows up, like right here, and I think we need to create a bridge to, let me guess, trying to deal with some more Shine Spark skills. So as a result, that could be a primal reason for it. So anyways, let's go and let's say shoot down here to create one of those another stalls to create a bridge. So in some cases though, we should be all good, all things considered. Because I believe if you miss out one of those bridge parts, then I'm presuming that the Shine Spark will not be effective if one of those pieces are usually it's missing. So either way, at least we got that sorted. So now it's time to do, what else? More Shine Spark skills. So in some cases we'll do that. And from here we get ourselves another energy tank. So I believe we've only got about, I would say 2 or 3. I can't really tell of the forms of screen resolution because it's all gosh darn tiny whenever I was trying to able to look closer to the actual screen itself. But either way though, I'm sure that, well, it seems that we almost finished, so again, there's not much else to explain because either way, it's just all I can really say about this, so anyways though, so let's go ahead and, I think for the most part that we basically done everything for the sake of the forms of Sector 3, alongside with the forms of maybe possibilities of the fact that we basically almost, well, I think we're pretty much done with the forms of the rest of the forms of Sector 1 now, and on top of that, some other sectors for that matter. So anyways, let's go into a recharge room, and I think, yeah, we're getting very close to the missile tanks expansions, as well as the power bomb tanks as well. So yeah, I think, relatively speaking, when it comes to the last few things I want to get, I think, relatively speaking, we've only got 2 more energy tanks as far as what I did finally realize about something. And on top of that, we've only got 1 more missile tank left. And I think we've only got about 3 more of those power bomb tanks as well. So either way, we've only got 6 more pickups left, and then by that time, we are basically done with the forms of backtracking stuff in mind. Although, unfortunately though, I don't think it's possible we can able to actually completely done with this entire, you know, picking up the last few bits and bobs here and there in this particular point, but I will say that until when it gets to the finale portion coming up, I will definitely try to able to actually get the last few pickups here and there, so although, then again though, it might take a bit while to able to get through, so either way. So anyway, let's go through Sector 2 right now, so because of that though, we can now able to do some more stuff here and there in Sector 2, because I almost assumed that I was going to able to try to explore some parts during the course of in Sector 4 in mind, but either way though, I don't think there's anything else I can probably be worried about that right now, so either way, so let's just go ahead and continue, and hopefully we'll try to able to find some, the usual stuff here and there, so but, either way, let's just go through here, and just to see what's beyond in this door. So I believe something tells me we need to do continuous screw attack, and especially noticeable with space jumps here and there as well, because if you dare touch any of those surfaces, like right here, basically it all becomes crumbling platforms. So because of that though, we need to do well-timing jumps, and on top of that, well, I think we have to do it twice. I'm assuming so anyway, so at least we found one of the energy tanks right there, so I think we've only got 1 more left. So I think down there, I think this is where we come across into, well, assuming of course if we, yep, there's another power bomb tank right over there. So of course we now need to go a bit lower, so either way, yeah, it looks like I was right, we have to do it twice, so, ay ay ay. But I'm sure it won't bother me at all though, because obviously I don't think the power bomb will do that much effective on here, so... And by the way, once we're able to actually get the, oh, I can simply just get up here somehow if my space jump rhythm was a bit light, but either way though, we'll just go ahead and, make it... Oh, dang it, I was so close. But, hopefully that it will be my successful attempt on the second attempt on that power bomb tank. But, either way though, let's just... I need to concentrate. And there we go, we finally got it. So I think, yeah, we've only got one more energy tank left, as well as one more missile tank, and I think we've only got 2 power bomb tanks left. So yeah, we're getting close, folks. We are definitely getting very close, because I'm actually pretty excited to see what the actual accomplishment I did for the sake of the forms of this game in particular. So anyways, with that being said though, I think we should probably end things off this point right here. So join me next time for more of Let's Play of Metroid Fusion. It's gonna be the finale in terms of Metroid Fusion to get the last few pickups, and we'll finish the game off in a high note. So yeah, that will be pretty exciting. And exhilarating at the same time as well. So I'll see you guys until on Tuesday. Later, fellas.